board. He got himself pissed off and he collapsed behind the bar. And I thought to myself, here, you can be bloody useful here and you can earn your keep. So I went behind the bar to look after it for this old bugger that's gone and bloody passed out. We dragged him up into his bed and pulled his boots off, and that was it, left him to it. No problem with that. So I gets to start working there, pulling a few pints and that. Then I realised that what we normally have on the counter for all on the bar for all these locals that come in and the passers-by and the tourism people, that we have a couple of bowls of crisps and some nuts and snuff. Well, I found the crisps and I obviously found the nuts. Went to the snuff tin, bloody hell, bastard was empty. And I thought, what the bloody hell can I do? And we'd had 2 or 3 good hot sunny days, fair dues, the weather had been good to us, like. So I thought, well, bugger, I went up in the back garden and sure enough, baked in the sun was the biggest bloody dog turd you ever seen, and he turned all like powdery white. You know the colour he goes. You've all seen it. You've all seen it. It isn't me. You've seen it as well. So I thought, well, if you're stuck, you've got to go and improvise. So come on, lad. So we got the snuff pot, and I crumpled it all up, and crumpled it all up in the tin, nice and powdery, a bit like flour, a custard powder. So I put a bowl of this on the bar. And bugger, bloody bastard luck, the vicar come in. And he always comes in for half. And I said, evening vicar, how are you? And he said, I'm all right, Seth, thank you very much. I said, oh, well, good. And I thought, well, now, Christ, that's right under his bloody nose. I said, here, vicar, I said, you can't by chance smell any dog shit, can you? He said, no, Seth. He said, I've got a terrible cold, he said, and I wouldn't smell anything if you put it under my nose, boy. Well, I thought, I'm lucky here. This is going to be good. Damn if he doesn't take some snuff. And he said, Christ, Seth, that's some good stuff. And I said, why's that, vicar? And he said, well, I got this stinking bloody cold, and I couldn't smell dog shit when I come in, but I can now. I thought, oh, bloody hell, that's gone, oh, bloody pear-shaped. And then the next thing, this bloody coach driver come in, and he said, here, do you take coaches? I said, well, you're on the car park now, I suppose we bloody well do, don't we? What's the matter with you? I got 40 on board. I said, well, it's only me serving, as long as you don't mind waiting. He said, well, none of that, he said, being politically correct. He said, they was out sight. I said, what do you mean, they're blind? He said, ah. I said, oh, well, you can read them in, that's all right. So they came in, all hand in hand in a big line. And they stood up at the bar and they had a couple of pints, and he said, well, I can't go yet. He said, because my tachyometer thing in the cab, he said, I can't drive for another hour. He said, who's that field next to you? I said, well, that's ours. What's in mine? I said, the landlord, if he's pissed up and lying up in bed. I said, I'm just looking after the bar for him as a favour. And he said, well, can the lads have a game of footy? I said, what do you mean footy? He said, a game of football. I said, well, yes, they can do. I said, but hold on. I said, how? If these lads are blind, I said, how the bloody hell are they going to play football? Oh, he said, that's easy. He said, we've got a ball, he said, with the bell in. He said, I gets them all in a circle, he said, and I chucks it in the middle, and he goes, tinkly-tink, tink, tink, and they hear the ball, he said, and they start bloody kicking and then going all over the bloody shop. He said, it'll wear the buggers out, it'll wear the buggers out. I said, well, you know, it's nothing to do with me. I said, if you think you can manage, and you can manage that, I said, you know, you can go ahead. Go ahead, I said, it's on my head, be it, but you can bloody go ahead, I said. I don't mind at all. So off they went, and they all trooped outside, and he got this bloody ball. I heard him from inside, and he tinkle, 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 and he chucked it in, and he went bash, ball, bloody hell, there was all to play. They were all over the bloody shop after this ball with the bell in it. But I was still serving, so that was that, no problem at all. And probably about 15 minutes had gone by, and this chap come in off the field, and he said, here, he said, who's with these bloody footballers? And I said, well, it's not me. I said, it's him. Why, what's the matter? He said, well, in playing football. I said, yeah. He said, but they're kicking the shit out of my Morris dancers. I said, oh, Christ, no. So it was more bloody trouble again. It was more bloody trouble. Life's a bastard, absolute bloody bastard. What bastard? So anyway, I took to the bloody beer. I thought, bugger it, I'm going to have a bloody drink. So anyway, I got myself a bit, well, the wrong side of the few, you know. And I did stagger. I staggered a bit. I'd go in a bit to the left, a bit to the right, a bit to the back, a bit more forward. I eventually got there. Anyway, I tried the key in the bloody door. Do you think it had the bastard thing would not turn. It would not bloody turn. And I looked up the bloody, and there it was. Her bedroom light was still on. I thought, you bastard, why don't you bloody let me in? So I stood back and I shouted at her. I said, let me in, you bugger. I know you're in. The bloody lights are on. And as I said that, somebody tapped me on the shoulder. I turned round to the copper, and he said, here, tell me why you've got your key in the flap on the lamppost. Well, I tell you now, that was it. That was it. It did my bloody day in, I tell you. It did my bloody day in. And if that weren't enough, really, I forgot to mention, on the way down to the pub, I went down the bank, because obviously the pub's up the bank, but he's halfway up, and then I was at the top end there. I've been to Mary's, actually. And as I come down the bank, round the corner, by Dan's farm, he'd had the cattle across the road, and there was cow shit everywhere. Honestly, and the way my day had gone the previous, and then this bugger turned out to be a right bastard, this was going to happen, it was obvious. Anyway, I come down round the bloody corner on my bike, get this cow shit, and I went straight into the bloody edge. Head first, bike on top of me the lot. And I could not bloody move. And anyway, I was fortunate, I got pulled out by the balls in the end. And I thought, well, this is one of those days, I'm plastered in shit, and that's the end of it. I'm going down to the pub. And what happened down the pub, you know about. But I forgot to mention that when I was in the pub, I'd started serving, and the balls came in. So I thanked them very much for pulling me out, and I bought them a pint each. Well, not her, I bought him a pint, and her a baby sham. But anyway, he went, oh, well, I shook hands with them, and they you know, they said, well, any time. I thought, well, I don't want to do it again, really, if I can help it, you know, because, I mean, it's not the sort of thing you want to do, really, is it? But as I say, day two, and what a absolute bastard. It's been a bloody bastard. And I don't know what the bloody hell I've done to deserve it all. But I'm going to go home now and see if I can get in the bloody house and have a cup of tea. Because I've had enough of this under the bloody edge. I've been here 8 hours. It's bloody awful it is, bloody cold and dusty, and, oh Christ, bloody horrible.